a lot of people. I've coached a lot of people. I've been on phone calls. People pick my brain. How do I do this? How do I do that? And really, when I give people nuggets, I know for sure a lot of times they don't take action. So it's really, it boils down to the individual's mindset and really how deep is their why. Why do you want to be in real estate? Why do you want this, college education? Whatever it is, whatever your why is, whatever your goal is. It could be real estate, it could be you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, it could be anything. Like, what is the why driving you to do whatever you want to do? For instance, like for me in real estate, I've been in the game for 10 years now, since 2015, pretty much 10 years. And what really drove me to get in the game was I knew I wanted to build a legacy and leave something behind for my family. I want to leave a name for me. It's not about me. It's not about me making millions of dollars. It's not about me making billions of dollars. It's about me being able to change other people's lives. It's about me being able to, like we all know, like money doesn't bring happiness, but to a point it does, and to a point it solves a lot of things. Not everything. Can't solve sickness, obviously. Yeah. But it can solve a lot of things. And we live in a society to where money is essential, unless you're living off the grid, obviously. Like you can do like living off the grid or live a very, below your means lifestyle, which I do. But again, there's to a certain point. Like I still do like nice things. I still do like extravagant vacations, I'm not out here buying, Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces yet, but I still do like nice things, and it takes money to be able to accomplish that.
So how can someone who's trying to make that first step have the willpower, not the motivation, but just to feel like, I can tackle this? Because I feel like I tell people confidence is a problem. Yeah. But is there anything that I feel like is also holding people back from reaching their full potential?
Yeah, so I want to touch on confidence really quick. So I'm going to use this as an example. Think of if you're someone, you started out going to the gym, you never did a push-up before, and you're like, man, I don't have the upper body strength to do that push-up. I always tell people this: go and do one push-up one day. Tomorrow you go back, try to do 2 push-ups. It's that little bite at the goal versus eating the whole entire goal and trying to do 10 push-ups in one set. And the reason why I say that is because it comes back to confidence. When you went to the gym and you try to do that one push-up, you probably really weren't that confident. But when you go back, mentally, they've done studies on this, you're actually going to have way more confidence going into 2 or 3 more push-ups to hit that goal of 10. You might even hit 10 the second day because you're so confident. But it's going in and making an attempt. I like to use the word failure versus attempt. Like most people say, hey, go in there and fail at doing it, which is okay. But I like to use the word attempt. We're making attempts. And what happens is people aren't making enough attempts. And really, the best way to really catapult yourself into anything, whether it's a new physique, a new business, buying real estate, being the best at whatever you want to be, whatever, rock climber, snowboard, it don't matter. You have to surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to do. You have to become an owner of your product, right? Mm-hmm. You have to be a product of your environment. Yes. That's what I meant to say. Yes. You have to be a product of your environment. And if you're not, and you're hanging around the people who aren't doing what you want to do. Here's another actually really good analogy. If you speak English and you only speak English, one language, and you want to learn a new language, what's the likelihood, let's say Mandarin, Chinese, or Italian, French, whatever? What happens if you move to, this is what people sleep on right here. This is actually what people really sleep on. It's this simple actually. What happens if you move to China for 2 to 3 years do you think engulfing yourself in the culture and in the language, you're going to pick it up quick?
Yes.
You would, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like, if you want to be successful at whatever it is, it could be real estate, it could be sports, academics, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, you got to engulf yourself in the environment of people who are doing it and surround yourself with people who are doing it. Don't be afraid to ask. Always lead with value. Like, for instance, if you're trying to collaborate with someone like me, a lot of times people, like, on a daily basis, I get people DMing me, asking me questions, leading with no value. Lead with value. If you're going to ask somebody that you want to be around or be like, and you see that they're very successful, see how you can add value for them before you take. Everybody's about taking. Give value back. Give value. Lead with value. And surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to be doing. That's really the best way. And then when you understand that blueprint, you can take that same blueprint. Don't reinvent the wheel, guys. Take that same blueprint and plug it into your life. And make attempts. Or failures, whatever you want to call it. But I like to call it attempts. Because life's about taking attempts. No, there's no one person in this world who has made attempts and has been 100% successful at every single attempt. The attempts that don't succeed are what cultivate you to who you are today. The attempts that you try to make on a daily basis that aren't 100% successful are what shape you into the human being that you want to be. You'll look back 4 or 5 years from now and you'll be like, oh wow, I'm glad those attempts didn't go 100%. Like, I make attempts all the time that don't work out to how I thought they were going to work out. That's okay, that sharpened me, right? So, if somebody's really, looking at this content that we're making and they're thinking to themselves like, how do I actually take an actionable step from what Javier just said? I maybe might be in a 9-to-5, or maybe I just graduated college or whatever. My suggestion is get into rooms, whether that's a meeting, a convention, a network, a Facebook group, a course. Get into a reputable group of individuals, which is a community. It could be my community on school, Be Bold Investing,